Welcome to Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle, where professionals in the field inform, educate and inspire the community to be healthier, more balanced and live the lifestyle they love. Today in the studio we have Caroline Pope, who is an animal communicator and therapist, and today we're going to be discussing animal global awareness, myth or truth. Hi Caroline and welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. So can you tell us, is there animal global awareness? Is it true?
Absolutely it is, yeah. We have the internet, animals have the internet, and in the same way on Messenger, you can see someone's on there, but you don't want to talk to them. They can ignore you or other animals, or they can choose to communicate. And all animals are aware. The geese that fly from north to south and vice versa will literally spread the news. It's almost like in the old days when we only had the telegraph. Animals have always had it. We like to think that we're so superior, and yet the technology, in inverted commas, that they've always known what's gone on in other sections of the world. We're just a little slower to catch up.
Can you please give me some examples of what this is and how it works?
They have thought in exactly the same way we do, and it's the telepathics. I remember on September 11, I was staying at a mate's place, went down later that day to my horse, just looked at him and said, "Do you know about it?" And he said to me, "Yes, we all know about it. We just can't understand it. Can you explain it?" No, not really. But every animal on the planet, because you think how much that was broadcast across. Some of them will have picked up the people in the planes. Some of them will have picked up the pets and pet dogs, pet cats that saw it. The birds will have seen it. And it goes out in the same way it did on our television screens. They know and they understand. Another client of mine was going to Hawaii, and she was doing a communication to make sure the animals knew she'd be back and all those sorts of things. And the cat actually said to her, "Be careful. There's going to be an earthquake." First night at the pub, she's happily half tanked and telling everybody, and they were giving it to her for the rest of the trip. Oh, the earthquake. Day before they were due to leave, guess what there was? A large earthquake. She said it was such a shame it wasn't the second day because everyone was buying a drink. She could have had a lovely week. But the animals know so much more than we do. And a friend of mine's cockatoo, when we had that earthquake in Melbourne, apparently half an hour before, he's turned around and gone, "Batten down the hatches. There's going to be an earthquake and it's going to be a big one." Sure enough, there was. So they know long before we do. They sense the energy of the earth and they all communicate because they feel it. I mean, you see all the pictures of the elephants heading up before the earthquakes or the tsunamis. Animals have this inbuilt knowledge. It's us humans that are left behind. We really like to think we're so all over it. We are so incredibly isolated from the rest of creation. We really are. And any animal can tune in to any other animal or person anywhere in the world and know what's going on. Friend of mine's cockatoo, it literally saved my life one day. I was really tired, mountain road. I was on my way home. I knew the road well, but it was one that a lot of people had killed themselves on. And he just said to me, "Slow down, look at your speedo." And I was doing 30k faster than I thought I was. If I'd hit that bend, it wouldn't have been pretty. And this is the thing, we are all connected. We forget that in the age that we're in now. You go back 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years, we were much more interconnected, not only with ourselves, because we needed the community to survive. We weren't isolated. We all lived together. Go back, particularly Europe, where there's snow, the animals lived in with you because otherwise they'd all die of cold, as we would have. You got to know the animals intimately on a bunch of levels that most people don't today. And we were connected. It mattered what they did. If they couldn't work or they were exhibiting signs of soreness, it mattered if they were a working animal. It mattered with the crops, because if your crops failed, you starved to death. These days, we go to the supermarket, we don't think twice. We've become so disconnected. But often, particularly before a large weather event, for example, the animals would let you know. And even today, if it's going to be a really hot summer, the animals will all drop their coat a lot earlier. Then the people would know, oh, okay, we're going to be heading towards a hot summer, or vice versa, cold, wet winter. The animals start growing their coat 2 months earlier. The farmers would know and would try and stock up. We were interconnected. We've lost all of that, or most of that. Some rural areas still have it, but very few. And, these days, the most we do with weather is flip up our phone and look at the weather app. We don't even walk and look outside or know what to do. They used to look at the animals and work out. Quite often, that would be as good or better a weather barometer as listening to the Melbourne Bureau.
And if your animal is behaving oddly, what would be your advice?
There's always, always, always a reason. You need to find it. And don't wait. Don't let it drag out. If your animal's acting oddly, animal therapist, vet, and you may well find, yes, it may well be a massive thunderstorm. A lot of dogs will pace. One of mine used to know any sort of atmospheric pressure he struggled with. So 2 days before a storm, he could be bad. It was really unpleasant for him, poor little guy. But they know, you may find it's an earthquake, but often it's pain. Oddly, there's always a reason, but most times animals will be odd is pain. So always, always get them checked by a healthcare professional as soon as you possibly can.
Thank you very much, Caroline. It's been a pleasure. If you want to know more about Caroline Pope and Animal Global Awareness, go to her webpage on our website at healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au, and please stay tuned. We've got another fantastic guest coming after the break.
Stay tuned. After the break, journalist and meditation teacher Beatriz Goyoaga will be talking about why people are changing medication for meditation. Welcome back. Our second guest is journalist and meditation teacher Beatriz Goyoaga, and we will be talking about why people are changing medication for meditation. Welcome, Beatriz. It's so great to have you back.
Jai Gurudev, it's so great to have people like you talking about meditation.
So why are people changing their medication for meditation?
Because people have gotten very good results once they get to meditate at the level of the health and at the level of the mind. And like the Romans used to say, healthy mind, healthy body. So people are trying just to get their minds going correctly, get it more calm, more relaxed. We are living at such a speed. We have so many demands. What is stress? Stress is not a number of activities. Stress is not too many things to do. Stress is no time to do things. No. Stress is the fluctuation of the mind from the past to the future. The man gets stuck in the future. I'm angry, he did that to me. I'm going to sue them, blah, blah. Or in the future, anxiety, will he get better? Will we win? Is he going to accept me? Will I get the job? Is the war going to be over? Anxiety. This fluctuation of the mind between past and future is resulting in stress. And meditation is bringing the mind to the present moment. So we have heard many times people talking about whether Eckhart Tolle or even the Art of Living people live in the present moment. And you get up in the morning and say, how? Because I get up, I remember my future, I have to pay the bills to the bank, or the fight I had with my boyfriend last night. How to live in the present moment. Meditation brings you to the present moment. And I'm going to tell you something. People think that meditation is concentration. Not at all. People think that meditation is visualization, thinking of something positive, seeing a beautiful field with flowers. Not at all. Meditation is collaborating with your mind. If your mind is going to the problem, let her go. If your mind is going to the past or future, Right now, let her go. Collaborate with your mind. You just stay like a statue, and then use your breath to allow yourself to go deeper into meditation. We in the Art of Living teach first to breathe and then to meditate, because breath is like windshield wiping. When you have dust or dirt on the windshield, you wipe it and then you can see. If you use your breath to wash all those thoughts, all those preoccupations and activities of the brain, and then you can sink into meditation deeper. Also, when you are in meditation, and if you're thinking too much, observe your breath. That'll help you to go, because if you're breathing, you are in the present moment. And the present moment is silent and vast. There is no fluctuation of the mind. So this is good to know, that you don't have to visualize anything. You have to make no effort at all. Like you're dead. They're taking you to the cemetery. Now there is nothing to do. This is the attitude. We teach in the Art of Living, I am nobody, I want nothing, I do nothing. Like a rag doll. The rag doll doesn't say, oh, I want my hand to be lifted. No. I am no one, I do nothing, and I want nothing. And then the result will be good meditation. After meditation, concentration. Yes, after meditation, the result of meditation is good concentration for good work or good productivity.
So there's concentration after meditation.
After.
What are the other benefits from meditation?
Oh, well, meditation, it's to take the best out of you. Because when you're calm, that's you. When you are relaxed, it's you. The other side is not you. The other is just covers of stress, covers of layers of anxiety, layers of preoccupations. When you are after meditation, you're a simple, beautiful human being, nothing to do. I went to a congress of coaches. There were 2,000 coaches in a big theater. And then I was telling them, how do you seduce people? Calm mind and beautiful smile. The smile shows what's inside. A baby goes into a pharmacy with a mom, and the baby seduces everybody. Even the pharmacist comes out to say, oh, look at the chicken, and the baby's so natural. He's relaxed, she relaxed, and the smile is natural. When I talk about seduction, I don't mean sexual only. You can seduce your mom, you can seduce your brother, you can seduce your dad, you can seduce your boss. Those are the result of calm mind, meditation for that.
Wow, thank you so much. So do you have any advice for our viewers?
Yes, meditation, like I said before, do not pretend to, oh, I see a beautiful green field with flowers, nothing like that. Empty stomach and always sitting down. Now, if you're sick and you're in hospital, meditate in the bed, yeah? But if you are just a normal, you cannot meditate after food, because the metabolism is working, so you have to have an empty stomach. And find, if you're a beginner, a quiet corner somewhere. I meditate on an aeroplane, in a train, I meditate in the doctor's office, I meditate everywhere, because I've been meditating 26 years. But if you are a beginner, then just make sure to have a quiet corner and look at the watch and give yourself 20 minutes. I give myself 20 in the morning and 20 in the evening. I tell you, those are the best invested moments of your life, because we invest to work for somebody else. The benefits is for the hospital, for people to get healed. If you fly an aeroplane, is for the benefit of the tourists. And this is for yourself. And this is the only moment where you should be egoist. And never say, I have no time. Time is there. If you meditate and you're calm, your family is happier. And your colleagues in the office also.
Thank you so much, Beatriz. If you would like to know more about people changing medication for meditation and Beatriz Goyoaga, you can visit her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we'll be back with another interesting guest and another interesting topic.
After the break, breathwork expert and life coach Christine Hart-Savage will be talking about reversing stress and burnout. Welcome back. And our next guest is breathwork and life coach Christine Hart-Savage, and the topic we'll be discussing today is reversing stress and burnout. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you for having me again, Megan.
Christine, can you describe stress and burnout for us?
They're two different things. So stress is something that builds up inside your body. So we often don't know we're stressed. So we go out into the world and something happens that we don't like or we're uncomfortable about it. And instead of allowing that emotion or expressing ourselves well, we tend to go into a little bit of shock and hold our breath a little bit, and whatever's going on at the time, that emotion we're feeling, the thoughts that we're having, when we hold our breath, it gets trapped inside the body. So then we go home and the next morning we get up, we go back out into life and we have some other stressful things happen, and it starts to accumulate in the body. So stress literally builds inside us, it builds in the body. And the cells, the cellular memory holds it. And if we think of stress as an energy, so we've got life force or energy flowing through us, and every time we have a stress moment, it's like that part of that energy becomes crystallized. It becomes like a little marble that is blocked inside the body. So that builds up. So in the end, we can feel like the stress has got to such a point that we are a pressure cooker. So burnout is when the stress keeps building and building and building and building and building to the point where you are really full. That is burnout. Now that's very serious, because if we don't do something about burnout or stress at that point, we end up getting sick. And the other thing that can happen is when someone's really at burnout or breakdown point, as I call it, we're so reactive. It's like, it just comes up and these bursts, these outbursts take us over. So we're very emotionally charged. So we need to bring that down too, because not only is it not good for our health, it's no good for the people around us.
Christine, can burnout happen to anyone?
Most definitely. The thing with burnout too, strong people keep soldiering on. So we feel some stress, some pressure, and you wake up, you say, okay, you push it over there, and you just get on with the day, next day, the following day. And as it's building and building, you get to a point where it's almost impossible to keep going, but strong people do. They keep pushing through it. I can do this, and they don't get help. I find that the people that I see mostly for this burnout, that when they've got to this point where they really are not coping, are people that run their own businesses, lawyers, doctors as well, and people that really are very professional because they keep going and going and going. Even university professors I've had, they don't know where to turn, they don't know what to do. And the other thing with this, when we can have burnout or really strong anxiety and panic attacks, it's often people in the media. So people that are on television that are really confident and they're great. You would never think that they're suffering from burnout or panic. Also people like radio jocks that are on radio, that are out there, that are funny, that are speaking to people. On a break, they might have to run into the toilet and try and get their breath because they're having panic attacks. So it can affect anybody. It doesn't matter where they're from, who they are, what they do in life. Burnout is a build-up of stress in the body and the mind.
Christine, is there anything you recommend that people can do if they believe they're experiencing burnout, or tips and tricks on how to prevent burnout?
When we have burnout, the stress is built up to such a point that in the end you have separated off from yourself. So you're disconnecting from who you are, you're disconnecting from yourself. Now when that happens, you're also disconnecting from the people in your life. You're disconnecting from the world basically. So it's a very lonely journey. And it's because we're blocked. We've got all of this stress in the way. So what we need to do, when you get to this point of burnout, we need to do a deeper type of releasing. So there's two things that I would suggest people do. One is something like a deeper sort of breathwork therapy. So that's a deeper process of breathing where it takes you into an altered state of consciousness. You go beyond your conscious mind and your body relaxes like crazy, because as you're breathing, your energy field is opening up, opening up, opening up. That means every cell inside you is taking on new energy and oxygen, and that is also unfolding and opening up, and all the blockages caught in those cells then start to be released. So the person will experience different tensions and tingling and vibration and maybe emotion coming up. And every time they do this type of session, they're releasing more of that tension. So that means they're reconnecting with themselves again, bit by bit. It's a very powerful way to release what you have built up inside the cellular level of the body. Our bodies are so intelligent. Our minds are intelligent, but we're quite blocked. The thing that I find is that we're fragmented. So the mind is saying one thing, the emotions are something else, the body's in tension, and the soul or the spirit we're all out of whack. When you do deep breathwork therapy, it brings you more into alignment. That's why people feel this incredible calm come over them towards the end of the session, because they're lining up between their spirit or soul, their mind, their emotions, and their body. And when they leave, they can go out into the world feeling much more relaxed and much more connected to themselves and in balance. So that type of therapy is what people need to start releasing that deeper cellular level of burnout. We need to really reverse that burnout. And then as well as that, I would suggest people have a daily program. And they definitely need to learn to breathe correctly, so they need to find a good breathing coach. And I know one of those. And also have a meditation program as well. So that might sound like a lot, but it's not.
Thanks, Christine, for such wonderful stories and wonderful information.
Thank you, Megan. It's always a pleasure to be here.
If you'd like to know more about reversing stress and burnout and Christine Hart-Savage, go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And that's it for today, and we'll say bye-bye until next week. If you'd like to know more about our show, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.